So in this first video series, we're going to be talking about getting started in the beginning IMTech basics. So basically, preparing for success here, there's three things that you really need to get going with your internet business. Most people out there probably already know this, but it always helps to have a nice refresher. Step number one, you need to make sure you're purchasing a niche-specific domain. That means a domain name specific to the market that you're trying to enter. So if that's dog training, if that's weight loss, you want to have a domain name that's very specific to whatever your target market is, meaning the people that you are trying to reach. Step number two, you want to make sure you purchase web hosting. Quite honestly, there are free places you can host your site. There's free blogging services, but there is nothing like having your own web hosting and your own domain name that you control. That's when you have a real successful online business. That's when you have something real. It's yours. Nobody else can take it away, because at any moment, with WordPress, Blogger, anything like that, in just a moment's notice, all the work you've done could be gone because they own it all. So can't encourage you more than, just if you're starting out, get a domain and get your own hosting. Step number three, you could consider it an optional step. I really consider it a very, very important step, and that is to invest in an autoresponder. And we'll talk about a few features of good autoresponders, because really an autoresponder is also something, after you get your domain and hosting, that can really generate ongoing profits, as you'll discover here in just a little bit. So these are the things we're going to be covering today. These are the technology basics that we could say. IMTech basics. This is what you've got right here. So step number one, you need to get a domain name. For those that are just brand new starting out, it's also referred to as a URL or web address, and it's basically the starting point of creating your web presence. Whether that's going to be a squeeze page, a blog, a website, you need to start off with the domain name. Now, these may seem like very basic steps, but it always, it never hurts to go back to the basics, and there's many people out there that are brand new online, and so, if you can get going and invest in the right domain right from the start, you're going to be much further ahead than a lot of people were that started off with the wrong domain when they first started out. So in case you're wondering to know, just a little technical background, each and every domain name has a corresponding numeric address known as an IP address, and this allows hosts to connect to each other through the internet. So it's, your domain is almost like the address of your house, the address of your place of business, your favorite place to go. It's basically an address that you know exactly where it is, that's unique to that location. Initially, domain names could be 15 characters long, but now you can have up to 67 characters in a domain name. So you can have some pretty long domains, basically, is all that means. Obviously, the shorter, the better. It's basically, like I said, like the address of your house or office. And your domain is extremely important because it's the starting point of your business, so understand the importance of selecting the right domain for your projects. So the basics here around making your domain purchase include identifying a profitable niche. That means understanding who your target market is. If you are into creating sewing kits for people, then your target market is going to be people interested in sewing kits. So you would want to buy a domain related to sewing kits, for example. If you are into teaching people how to be better golfers, you would want to buy a domain name related to golfing. If, let's say, you're wanting to start a business, an e-commerce type store like Amazon or something that maybe sells pet related product, you want to have a domain name that's related to pets, dogs, cats, something of that nature, something that would relate to that market. That may seem like common sense, but I've seen people buy some really crazy domains when they first started out. I know a lot of people that are just starting out forget the importance of having and identifying a profitable niche and then going after it with a good domain name. Then you also want to make sure that you identify the keywords associated to that profitable niche. Now, in just a moment here, I'm going to jump off the screen and go into the Google AdWords keyword tool and show you how a cool little free tool can help you brainstorm some absolutely phenomenal domain name ideas. And just because this part is so important, having the right keywords in your domain will actually help your website rank in the search engines. It's actually one of the most important factors. You've got title tags and meta tags. Title tags are super important though to getting ranking, but having the keywords in the domain as well is a very big part of ranking in the big search engines, especially with Google. So I highly recommend that you try to come up with a good keyword rich domain name. Now, if you can't write fast enough to get this domain, just remember to search in Google AdWords Keyword Tool External, and you should get this free tool, AdWords Keyword Tool External. And come into a decision on what your domain name will be and how this domain will identify your niche. That's very, very important. So just think your domain is extremely important. Put a little thought into it. Don't waste tons of time, but if it takes you a day to come up with the right domain or a few hours, then great, because it is very important. As you get more established, like anything with internet marketing or with an online business, it will become much simpler for you. Now, choosing a domain registrar. Where you purchase your domain is also important. The domain registrar should be responsive to customer needs. This means they should provide customer service in a timely, accurate, and friendly manner. And I would really consider ones that offer 24/7 support. I personally, most marketers use GoDaddy. There's also Namecheap. Those are two that come right off the bat that have tremendous customer support. Because a lot of times the domain is really, it's one of the most important assets for your online business, and so you want to have it in reliable hands. And a domain registrar is basically who you go to register your domain name. Just like you go to the bank, to do banking transactions, you go to a somebody else to do your, hairstylist to do your hair. You go to a domain registrar to get your domain. That's what they specialize in, and I recommend you go to them to get your domain going. Some domain registrars offer hosting, but as you'll find out as we go on with this training today, I recommend that you host your business elsewhere. It's not like it's going to kill you, but basically it's one of those deals where you get burgers at burger places, you get fish at fish place, and you get steak at steak places. It's the best way to put it. Some domain places offer hosting. It's nowhere near as feature rich as hosting you would get somewhere else, much like some hosting companies could allow you to register domains, but it's just not quite as good as if you register elsewhere. So so these are just some things to look at when choosing a good domain registrar when you're starting out, or even if you've already have some domains purchased. You might want to go back and on your future domains maybe look at a few other options. Like I said, purchase them from separate places. This allows you more control, because if something happened with the domain registrar, then everything's down, so at least you have some control there. And then you want to point your domain to another web host, and you'll be up and running in a very short time, as I'm actually going to show you here live. And like I said, GoDaddy or Namecheap, they're considered the best just because most people use them. GoDaddy actually does a lot of Super Bowl commercials. They really get themselves out there. They are extremely reliable. I know most online marketers tend to use GoDaddy. There's really a number of domain registrars. You can go to Google and find them, but just try to look for some that have a good track record, have been online for about 5 to 10 years, have 24/7 support, and you'll be in good shape. So with that said, I'm actually going to jump off the slide here before I jump into web hosting, and I'm actually going to go over step by step how to register a domain name. So I kind of explain the ins and outs of it, but I think it'll help you a lot if I can go off the screen here and actually show you a little bit of what to do with domains. Okay, so I'm over here now on GoDaddy.com. GoDaddy.com is one of the most popular domain registrars out there. So they're a place you can go to register your domain. There's also GoDaddy, and then Namecheap was the other one, just so you can see what it looks like. Their look and feel may change, but this is what they look like at the moment. Very, very basic concept. So what you do here, you can start your domain search there. So let's say you're wanting to enter, let's just say like the dog training market. So let's just say dog training, and let's just say dog training site. Let's just say, see if that's available. I doubt that one's available. But let's say you're trying to go after the phrase dog training. So it looks like that domain's taken. Now I did mention it's very wise to use a keyword tool, so that's actually what I'm going to do here. Is I'm going to go out and we're going to use the AdWords keyword tool external. AdWords keyword tool external. So that's what you want to type in here. It should be the first result you get in Google. So I'm going to come here and click on that, and it's going to load up here, and it'll give me a security check. So you just put this in, and again, this is a free tool that I'm using. It's a free tool supplied by Google. So If, for example, we are going after, let's just say, the dog training market, very popular market, or the dog breed market. I know that one's also very big. So let's just say we're going to go after the dog breed market for this example. So let's just type in dog breed, and it's going to actually bring back a variety of websites, or excuse me, a variety of keyword phrases related to dog breeds and dog breed information. So if we're wanting to start an informational website where maybe we have AdSense and affiliate links and things like that on it, a good starting point would be the AdWords keyword tool, because you want to establish a nice keyword rich domain name. So that's what I'm doing here. So I'm typing in dog breed to get the search started, and it's coming in here and showing me quite a few different results. Now if I wanted to sort those by most popular searches, all I had to do was just click at the top here where I searched. Now as you scroll down here, you'll notice on the left hand side of the AdWords keyword tool, it'll ask you, to narrow down keyword phrases. So what I'm going to do is uncheck those, and I want to bring it down to where it only brings up keywords related to the keyword that I wanted, which is dog breed. I don't want to learn about dogs. I don't want to read about different breeds separately. I don't want dogs with an S, and miscellaneous terms, don't really care about those. I mainly am caring about the dog breed keywords. So there's 171 of those based on what this shows me, and you can see here that 1.5 million searches per month on a global basis, meaning all over the world. That's a very big niche market. So we've established a good profitable niche, and I think we need to come up with a good solid domain name that we can work from. So there's a few ideas here. We've got all dog breeds, we've got dog breeds list, all dog breeds. That's kind of an interesting phrase that people are looking for, and that might possibly be a good domain name. So I'm going to type this in here, all dog breeds. There's probably a good chance this is already taken, but really this is the how you can register good domain names. So come in here, all dog breeds site, all dog breeds online. That's not a bad domain, but there is actually another little strategy that you could do, that you could just try as well. You can come on in here, and if you find one that looks good to you, then you could just grab it. Otherwise, you come on in here and pull down this list of domains, download all 57, put them into a text file or a CSV file, that's fine, and download that. It'll take just a moment. And you can choose what to open it with. So we'll just open it with Excel for right now. And this is just opening a listing of these keyword phrases. And I'm just going to grab all these keywords here that I got, copy that, and we're going to go right on over here to GoDaddy's website over here. And let's just see domains, and then you want to come down here to where it says bulk domain registration. So domains and bulk domain registration. So to go back to what I just did, I went over here to where I pulled up my keywords, I downloaded my keywords, put them into an Excel spreadsheet or anything else that you have. It could be an OpenOffice spreadsheet, which is also free. Simply right click on the keyword phrases and copy them. And I'm going to jump back over here to where it says under domains, it's going to say bulk domain registration. Okay? So now what I'm going to do here is just grab this and paste in all these keyword phrases, and we want to just do a search for .com and .net domains. What it's going to do is actually combine all of these and do a massive search for us to see which one. You can enter up to 500 domains, and it's going to tell us which one of these keyword phrases that we found in this market might be available to purchase. And there's probably a good chance that none of them are available. And it looks like every one of those is unavailable. So that kind of tells you something that you might want to come up with some different modifiers as well. Here's a few that look like they are available though. Dogbreedlist.net, that's not a bad name. ChooseDogBreed.com, ChooseDogBreed.net, and actually these are not bad at all. Terrier Dog Breed, Smartest Dog Breed, popular dog breed. These are actually pretty good, domain names. So I'm actually going to go over here and grab dogbreedlist.net. That's going to be the domain I'm going to go with. So I'm going to come over here to where it says domains now, and I'm now going to register my domain. Okay, so I use these different methods that I showed you, but it all started with this AdWords keyword tool. You don't have to go through all the process I just went through. If you have a domain on top of your head and you think it's available, grab it if it's there. Otherwise, use this tool to come up with some great keyword ideas, just like what I did. And this is a technique not a lot of people teach or know how to do. So, this is a brilliant method to come up with some great domains. Okay, so what you need to do now is create an account at GoDaddy, or you need to just log into your existing account. So I'm going to go ahead and if I was brand new, this is where I'd put in my information with them. They're a very secure website. They do have 24/7 support, so if for some reason you get stuck, they could even assist you in getting your domain name set up. So I'm just going to log in here, and this will take just a moment. Okay, so it looks like we are logged in here. So next thing that I'm going to do, right up here in the right hand corner, it'll say start domain search, or you come up here to where it says products, and there'll be like a drop down menu, and you can just come up here and go through the process of registering your domain name. So let's just log in here, dogbreedslist.net, and hit go, and we'll see if that's still available. Dogbreedlist.net is available, just $8.99 a year, so we're just going to go ahead and add the domain. Okay, so we've narrowed down a very keyword rich domain name here with this process. So it is available. Let's just continue with the registration. Now I will warn you, they have a lot of upsells, a lot of downsells, and all sorts of things like that. What you need is you only need a domain. I typically register most marketers 1 year to 2 years max, so you do not need to register them for a very long length of time. 1 to 2 years will be just fine for you. Okay, we're just going to register this one for 1 year, and come on down here and click next. So your privacy. For those starting out, in most cases, standard will be just fine. Some people feel the need to protect their who-is information. When you're running an online business, though, most websites already have phone numbers, emails, things like that on them. So there's really nothing you're protecting. That's just an opinion that I have. When I first started out, when most people start out, they think that they need to protect it all, and so then they end up spending way more than they need to every year on their domain. So that one I'll leave up to you, but you really don't need it. Standard will be just fine, and it's the lowest cost method. Okay, so activate your domain. They're going to try to get you more upsells, and most domain registrars, they have all these upsells. And like I said before, you don't need hosting from them. You should only come out in your shopping cart with it's something around $9 to $11 or $12. You shouldn't come out having spent $200, $300, $400, although that can happen with these domain registrars. So it's important that you're careful, which is one reason I wanted to step you through the process. They are very reliable, though, once you get your domain registered. So I'm just going to continue to check out, and we're just going to use PayPal here. Okay, so this will take just a moment. This is where you can check your information, and then scroll on down here, and you've read and agreed to the terms. I've registered a lot of domains, so we'll just place our order now. And if you decide to pay with credit card, obviously you would input your credit card there, or if you decide to do, if you're brand new and use your PayPal, then that's what you would do. So it's now going to tell me thank you for your order, so the order is now complete. So that is step by step how you register your domain name. So we've now registered our domain. So I'm going to jump back into the training here, and we're going to go over web hosting now. So we're going to jump back into the training here and discuss web hosting.